Well, hello, welcome to today's video, which is Frugal at Christmas. And yesterday I shared with you how we do birthdays on a more frugal budget, and today I wanted to go into a Christmas video for you. Thank you again for clicking this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and comment below on your favorite Christmas tradition or thing to do. If it's not something that you necessarily do every year, but something that you really do enjoy doing, comment it below. I definitely grew up with more of a love of Christmas in my family. We are from a large family. There were 8 siblings and my parents, and my mom just loved Christmas, and that was the most fun thing about it, was actually just to get to experience what my mom did because she loved it so much. There were traditions that we had growing up, like we knew we could expect Hungarian coffee cake for Christmas breakfast. And I do have a video sharing how to make that. It was filmed back in the house in Indiana. I just never finished editing and uploading it and all of that. So I will be trying to get that out more this fall. More this fall, or maybe during a VEDA day, I don't know. But Hungarian coffee cake is a highlight in my family, and that is definitely something that I have tried to bring into our family and our traditions. It may not happen every year, and I don't do it for breakfast every year, but during the Christmas season, Hungarian coffee cake definitely comes out. And it's not as fun because it's so much more fun when we were back in California and we just all came together, all of the siblings, and we wouldn't make one, we would make so many. The neighbors got some, people at work would get some, and it just became kind of an all-day fest of making Hungarian coffee cakes. And that was what made it fun, was kind of being together and talking about, oh, this isn't rising right, or hey, did you remember to grab the powdered sugar, or do we have enough pans, or hey, I think we're going to have enough to make another one. Who do you think we should give one to this year? And so, you know, when we moved to Indiana, I ended up bringing that back. I was teased often in a good fun way of bringing the monkey bread, and in my family, don't dare insult Hungarian coffee cake like that. It is not monkey bread. There is an elegance and an art to it. And so, I mean, it's just the whole thing behind the Hungarian coffee cake is just fun and good memories. And so that kind of is something that will continue on during the Christmas year, and something that, you know, I have brought forth, I have brought into our family with the traditions. But there are some things that I have ended up setting aside. Christmas can be different things for many people. It can be kind of a time of drudgery for a lot, kind of trying to figure out what they want to give, how many gifts, what is the budget, all of this and all of that. And I really feel for them. Like, if it's not fun for you, this might be an excellent year to reevaluate, like, what are some of the most good things about Christmas that you want to take with you and take to your family, and kind of scale back or find a way to just enjoy the year-end time with your family. Not everybody celebrates Christmas. I understand that. Some people believe it is a heathen holiday and Christians should not celebrate that. There are others that have a completely different mindset on how to celebrate Christmas. That is not what this video is going to be about. There are plenty of resources to go and research and look into and see if this is something that will fit for you and your family, of what you want to do. This video is focusing more or less on doing it frugally and having joy in the holiday season. So like I said, I really love Christmas, and a lot of that stems from what my mother did. However, I definitely do not go all out with the decorating. I do enjoy decorating some, but my mom has a beautiful display that she brings out every year, and it's part of my sister to part of what my sister loves doing, which is kind of coming out, and my mom waking up the day after Thanksgiving to a decorated house where all of her lighted Victorian village is up with the snow, and there are lights everywhere, like white lights with intertwined with greenery. There's a lot of things like that that I don't do. I did try to do it, and then I just realized this thing is more enjoyed at my mom's house, and that is going to be something that we just get to do there. Things that I do really like and I do find kind of important is I love a real tree. I love the significance of a real tree. However, I also know that practically speaking, we can't do that every year, and that's completely fine. It is not a set in stone of we have a Christmas tradition to have a real tree every year. It's just something I really love and enjoy, and I love the smell. A green tree just holds ornaments better, and there's just a lot behind it. But whatever your tradition is, you can decide if a real tree or a fake tree is better. Budget-wise, obviously, to be more frugal, buy one fake tree that you can just use every year. Even if I cannot do a full live Christmas tree, or real Christmas tree, I should say live. It's been chopped down. It's not live anymore. I do try to find maybe like little tabletop Christmas trees that we can have fun and decorate and just enjoy it that way too. And that, if I need to be more frugal, is a good way to do that. When we moved into this house, it was Christmas Eve, and my son and I stayed up, my youngest son and I, we stayed up late into the night creating a surprise for everybody. And we took papers, and again, I'm sharing this with you so that maybe there are some ideas in here that you can take and can use for you and your family. But we took paper and we taped it in a way that we could create a Christmas tree, and we colored it all green. It took forever, and we used so many of those twistable crayons up. We had different color greenery on that poor tree. Then we took all of the scraps that we cut from the sides of the paper, and we made like our homemade ornaments to kind of tack on the tree. And then we taped it up on a wall that was empty, and so that we had a Christmas tree and could kind of tuck little presents under. So real tree, fake tree, do what is best for you. Probably the best thing to start out with is knowing what your favorite traditions are, and kind of an estimated cost for this. And at the beginning of the year, when you start your finances and you write your budget, just start putting a little bit aside in that little Christmas envelope for later on this year. And then what is in that envelope is what is in that envelope. If it allows for a live tree, that's great. If it doesn't, because maybe you have some other things that you want to do this year that's going to cost a little bit extra, then cut back on whatever you need to do in order to make meet those goals. Some of the other things that our family does as a tradition is kind of taken from what I did growing up. My mom did 3 gifts growing up. We got a present from her, we got a present from grandma, and we got a present from our siblings. And she would take us to the store and we would purchase something for the sibling we drew the name for. And you know, with a large family, this helps keeps things manageable. Her thing was it wasn't so much an affordability as much as it was one year she just watched us be so overwhelmed with the amount of presents that we had to open, and she was like, this is not what it's intended for. And that quality versus quantity thing came into place, and she ended up just doing 3 presents, and that was how we did Christmas. We did stockings Christmas morning, and the gift from our siblings Christmas Eve, we would exchange those, and we went from there, and it was beautiful. And so I kind of took that and started doing something similar with my own children. We always did a sibling gift, and we did a mom and dad gift. Then when things were a little bit more lean, we decided, and I have a lot of siblings, I should point that out. I have a lot of siblings that love to contribute and love to give things to their nieces and nephews, and not to mention grandparents. I even scaled that back a little bit, and I said, hey guys, what if we did handmade Christmas and we drew names? And so that kind of became the new tradition about 6 or 7 years ago. And we draw a name, and we typically try to do it in September, October, as early as possible, because again, I mentioned it's handmade, and that is what we try to do. We make something for the person we drew a name for. And it can be a little difficult, especially for the boys. You know, they don't crochet, they don't knit. But we've gotten really creative at looking at different things we can do. And, you know, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they purchase it, and I don't put a stipulation that it has to be handmade. But if the person does want to make something handmade, they have the time allotted to be able to do that. I wanted to show something that, that my boys did make. One of them drew my name last year. And he made me this little wooden box with his wood burning kit, and this kind of holds my earrings, and he just made this for me. There's a little bit of felt on the bottom, and this is something he did, and it's very special to me, and a simple homemade gift that was made by my son. Of course, is something you love, right? My daughter crocheted for her brother. So her brother bought her coffee as kind of a payment, and she crocheted these placemats like you actually have seen in some videos for my wooden table, and little coasters to go along with it. She found some yarn, and she just worked her fingers to the bone, if you will, making these placemats. But that was something that her and her brother kind of got together and was able to make something for Christmas. So that's something that we do, and it has, you know, like I said, we consolidated what the amount of things to open. Sometimes there are friends that want to give something. Sometimes there's other things that play in a factor. And so I was like, let's just have one gift that we all exchange back and forth, and we can put as much time and whatever we want to. There is no spend limit. If somebody spends $5 and somebody else spends $25, it is what it is. The gift comes to you in a loving and giving manner. Some of the other things that we do is I do a Christmas breakfast, and it is all atmosphere with this Christmas breakfast. Handel's Messiah is playing in the background. I will do fresh squeezed orange juice if I can. Sometimes I can't, and so I'll just purchase like pulp heavy orange juice. I don't typically purchase orange juice unless I feel like we need like a vitamin C boost. So I almost never buy juice. And so that's always a treat when that comes out on Christmas. And then we go all out. It's like a Denny's breakfast. So there are pumpkin pancakes every year. There are eggs, there's sausage, maybe bacon. And it takes a long time to basically make this full breakfast. And so when they get up around the table, I'll leave like a little cutie and a Cliff Bar. And maybe, it used to be, but they kind of grew out of it, but like little, those fruit snacks. And I would just leave them all out, and they could kind of enjoy that while I'm making breakfast. And then while I'm making breakfast and Handel's Messiah in the background is playing, they get to open up their stockings. And in their stockings we do, my mom contributes, but we do a lot of practical things that can kind of go into the year. If you need any kind of hair bands, they're in there. Chapstick is in there. If you need toothbrush, it's in there. If you need some of the ones like particular body washes, they'll be in there. If you need new socks or underwear, that will be in there. And we don't have like the small stockings. We get a big one. You know, when they were younger, there were like stickers that they could make cards with. Sometimes there's a craft in there. I know this last Christmas my son really wanted this 3D puzzle where he could build like a certain kind of airplane, and he got that for Christmas, or inside the stocking. There's been like train whistles in those stockings, so there's something fun in there, but most of it is practical. and then maybe their favorite candy or whatever. If there's pens that they like the friction pens, whatever it is that you get to erase your writing, those will be in there. I know one year my son really wanted just a pocket calendar, and those are in there, so he could, write down his hours for work. So there's just a lot that I look into when it comes to practical, but still kind of fun. Like I was talking about yesterday with the Christmas thing, sometimes things are really, really tight. And so if you need school supplies, make it a little bit more fun. And I kind of do the same thing with the Christmas stockings. So along with that, they have a present from Grandma. Grandma does Christmas PJs and a book. That is her signature gift that she gives every year. And sometimes the pajamas are homemade. If she sends me the money, I can go buy fabric. We can all have matching pajamas and shirts with a little applique on it. Or I go and I just buy pajamas. It just depends on what I have time and space for. Sewing has been a little bit tricky lately. And those are just Grandma. She finds a book. We write in it the year, the date, and then the kids have been building up a little library that they can take with them when they leave. So that's something that Grandma does. My sister that also gives the birthday gift, her thing to do for Christmas is also a book. You get a book from Auntie, so Auntie whatever. Actually, she says her name is Tante whatever, for Christmas. And again, I'm just trying to keep in mind the books that I've heard them mention throughout the year and able to do it that way. Additionally, our sweet adopted aunt will also either send money to do something or a gift to do something. She's done both. And so those are under the year, and already you're up to 4 gifts. If there's, sometimes another sister says, hey, here's some money, go find something that the kids have really wanted. There's a sibling gift exchange that we still do in my family, so us siblings will get together and we'll send each other gifts with the names that we've drawn, and sometimes those siblings will include extra things for the children. And so, I mean, it's part of being a larger family, and this is why I keep things very small. Christmas can be what works best for you, and it should not be a time where you look at the child and the gift that they're giving and think, how on earth am I going to pay for it? I really think that it takes the joy out of the season. Gift giving is my love language. It is how I show love, and so maybe I'm coming at this from a different point of view. Maybe that isn't yours. Maybe an act of service would be something that, hey, for Christmas this year, can we go and do this for the community? Can we go volunteer at a soup kitchen? For Christmas this year, can we go and sing carols at the senior home? And those are beautiful traditions or beautiful things to do that in the past we have done. They have asked us not to do anymore with the senior center, especially after a certain year, just because of germs and whatnot. But those are beautiful things to do, and visiting and being with them and showing those people that they matter, that they're still valued in this world, and you can give in a way for Christmas in that aspect. If you belong to a church, you can take cookies to some of the people in the church and just take some time and spend it with them. So Christmas traditions and the things to do of the season do not have to cost a lot. They just take a little bit of your time. And maybe you can only allot a small amount of time, but I can guarantee you even that little bit can bring so much joy to somebody. Some of the other traditions that we like to do are making a bunch of different cookies and creating plates and then taking them to the fire station, the police station, and I have yet to do the ambulance because I could never figure out when they would be there or not. But taking them especially to those, having it available for our mail person who is having so many extra packages to mail right now, and some of the neighbors that have really been helpful to us throughout the year. Those plates of cookies have always been really enjoyed, and I think a couple of years ago, I did make a video on the different cookies that we make, but they are very basic ones. You can do things like the ginger snaps, the Ritz crackers with the peanut butter in between dipped in almond bark. That is a favorite among many people. We do monster cookies that have the chocolate chips and the Christmas M&Ms in it. We do the peanut butter kiss cookies. We do, I think I've done oatmeal cookies with butterscotch chips to kind of bring out a little bit more Christmas fun with that. And then almond bark. Almond bark where you just kind of mash up all the candy canes and put it with some chocolate or white chocolate. I'm not a white chocolate fan, so I don't do a whole lot with white chocolate because I have to eat this stuff too. And we'll just make a plate of that and just have fun. And so those are some really great things that you can do. Some of the best gifts that I have received, you can tell has been made with love, whether it is a loaf of pumpkin bread or whatever it is. There's just so much love into it, and it can really make my day. So there are just some things that you can do for Christmas. You don't need to go all out. You can keep it wonderful and joyful, and putting a good atmosphere is probably the biggest thing to do in order to not make it feel so drudgery, for lack of a better word. I really have another word I want to use for that, and I have it at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it is. But it can still, you can have a frugal Christmas without feeling poor and sad like some of the older books kind of demonstrate with that. You don't have to cut off all your hair in order to give a Christmas gift to somebody. It can just be time spent together. And I think especially in this world, and in the world today where time is valued so precious because we have so little, because we are pulled in so many different directions, that the gift of time has become an even bigger valuable gift. So hopefully these will give you a few ideas. I would love to hear your Christmas traditions below. Some of the things that I didn't include, but obviously are great. They will cost a little bit more because you got to factor in extra gas and whatnot, but that's just going to look at Christmas lights and just kind of seeing how people create something, how people get creative with a string of lights and maybe some yard decorations, and just how they go all out with it. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video, and I will see you on the next.